Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mama mana mandire rasangirin Krishna Murari Shri Krishna Murari Mama mana mandire rasangirin Krishna Murari Shri Krishna Murari Bhakti Priti Madhuchandan Bhakti Priti Madhuchandan Tumi Tumi Niyo Chitanandan Tumi Niyo Chitanandan Shivana Manan Shivana Manan Akuta Buddha Shivana Manana Krupa Buddha Sundara Mari Sundara Mari Mama Mana Mandire Rani Se Krishna Murari Murari. Bhakti Priti Malachandan, Bhakti Priti Alachandan, Tuminiyo Eniyo Kishanandan, Tuminiyo Eniyo Kishanandan, Ishananda Kumar, Nanda Kumar, Ishananda Kumar, Nanda Kumar, Habe Prema Pradipe Aruti Tomar, Prema Pradipe Aruti Tomar, Prema Pradipe Aruti Tomar. Nayana Jamuna Jariyaniba, Nayana Jamuna Jariyaniba, Tomara Vidaye Giridari, Tomara Vihare Giridari, Mama Mana Mandire Ramaniside, Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari, Mama Mana Mandire Raniside, Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari, Bhakti Priti Malachandan, Bhakti Priti Malachandan, Tuminiyo Eniyo Chitanandan, Tuminiyo Eniyo Chitanandan, Jivana Marana Toba Puja Nivedan, Jivana Marana Toba Puja Nivedan, Sundara Hey Manahari, Sundara Hey Manahari, Ishananda Kumar, Nanda Kumar, Ishananda Kumar, Nanda Kumar, Habe Prema Padipe Aruti Soba, Prema Padipe Aruti Soba, Nayana Yamuna Jariyanibar, Nayana Yamuna Jariyanibar, Tomara Virahe Giridari, Tomara Virahe Giridari, Vandana Ganitaba Vaju Jivana, Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari, Vandana Ganitoba Tavaju Jivana, Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari, Bhakti Priti Malachandan, Bhakti Priti Malachandan, Tumiyo Neyo Chitanandan, Tuminiyo Eniyo Chitanandan, Jivana Marana Toba Puja Nivedan, Jivana Marana Toba Puja Nivedan, Sundara Hey Manahari, Sundara Hey Manahari, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Muni Manaranjana, Baba Maya Bhyanjana, Muni Manaranjana, Baba Maya Bhyanjana, Muni Manaranjana, Baba Maya Bhyanjana, Asura Nikandana Sita Ram, Bolo Ram, Jai Jai 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 Ram. Patita Udarana, Jagajalatarana, Patita Udarana, Jagajalamutarana, Patita Udarana, Jagajalatarana, Nitya Niranjana Sitaram, Bolo Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 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 Bolo Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Dasarath Nandana, Suramuni Vandana, Dasarath Nandana, Suramuni Vandana, Dasarath Nandana, Suramuni Vandana, Trayatapakandana Sita Ram, Bolo Ram, Jai Jai 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 Ram. Jagasukhankarana, Jagajanapalana, Jagasukhankarana, Jagajanapalana, Jagasukhankarana, Jagajanapalana, Sanatana Jivana Sitaram, Bolo Ram. Satya Sanatana Mangala Karana Satya Sanatana Mangala Karana Satya Sanatana Mangala Tarana Saguna Nidanjana Sitaram Puranam Jai Jai Puranam Puranam Jai Jai Ram 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 Rama hi pavana Ati mana bhavana Rama hi pavana Ati mana bhavana Rama hi pavana Ati mana bhavana Nara Narayana Sitaram Guru Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Jayu Raghunandana Jaya Siya Ram Janaki Vallabha Sita Ram Jayu Raghunandana Jaya Sita Ram Janaki Vallabha Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram Guru Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram Jaya Raghunandana Jaya Sita Ram Janaki Vallabha Sita Ram Jaya Raghunandana Jaya Sita Ram Janaki Vallabha Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram Ram Jaya Sita Ram. Bolo Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram. Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram. Dasarata ke dulare Ram. Koshalya ke pyare Ram. Dasarata ke dulare Ram. Koshalya ke pyare Ram. Ram 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 Jaya Sita 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 Ram. Bolo Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram. Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram. Bolo Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram. Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram. Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram. Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghav Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghav Sita Ram. Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram. Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram. Ram 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 Jaya Jaya Siya Ram. Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Muni Manaranjana Bhava Bhaya Vyanjana Muni Manaranjana Bhaya Bhava Pranjana Muni Manaranjana Bhava Bhaya Vyanjana Asura Nikandana Sita Ram. Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram. Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram. Bolo Ram Patita Udarana Jagajalatarana Patita Udarana Jagajalatarana Patita Udarana Jagajalatarana Nitya Niranjana Sitaram Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram Bolo Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Dasarata Nandana Suramuni Vamdana Dasarata Nandana Suramuni Vamdana Dasarata Nandana Suramuni Vamdana Trayatapa Kandana Sitaram Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Bolo 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 Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Jagasukha Karana Jagajana Palana Jagasukha Karana Jagajana Palana Jagasukha Karana Jagajana Palana Sanatana Jivana Sitaram Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram Bolo 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 Ram Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram Bolo Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Bolo Satya Sanatana Mangala Karana Satya Sanatana Mangala Karana Satya Sanatana Mangala Karana Saguna Niranjana Sitaram Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram Bolo Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Rama hi pavana ati mana bhavana 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 Nara Narayana Sita Ram Bolo Ram Jai Jai 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 Ram Bolo Jai Jai Ram Bolo Ram Jai Jai Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Sita Ram Bolo Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Sita Ram 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 Jaya Siya Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram Bolo Jai Ho Raghunandana Jai Siya Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Sita Ram Bolo Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Bolo Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Bolo Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Bolo Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram 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 Bolo Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Bolo Sita Ram Jaya Sita Bolo Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Ki Jai. Namaste Narasimhaya Praladayini Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlada Dayane Hiranyakashipur Bhakshar Silatam Kanakalaye Hiranyakashipur Bhakshar Silatam Kanakalaye Ito Nishinga Parato Nishingo Yato Yato Yamita To Nishinga Bolo Bahi Nishinga Hidaye Nishinga Narashina Madim Saranam Prabhade Tavakara Kamala Varenakam Adbhuta Singham Dalita Hiranyakashipu Danubringham Kesavajita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jai Jagadesha Hare Tavakara Kamala Bharenakam Adbhuta Singham Dalita Hiranyakashipu Danubringham Kesavajita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Kesavajita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Narasinghadev Jaya Narasinghadev Jaya Narasinghadev Jaya Narasinghadev Jaya Narasinghadev Bhagavan ki jai Shri Radha Nilamadava ki jai Gaura Premanande, Haribo, 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 Haribo. Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Vajran Gadi Hanuman ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvajik Chasta Tarasatara Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Arhanta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Mayapura Dham ki jai. Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Ayodhya Dham ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavane ki jai. Gaura Premanandi Haribol. Namaha Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutali. Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitanamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nivasesa Sunyavadi Paskati Desitarni. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Tonight is a wonderful, let's say, celebration for the victory of vice, victory of virtue over vice. In other words, Ravana was defeated. Rama saved his wife Sita Devi. The Vanara army helped him and destroyed the entire Rakshasa dynasty on the earth. The Rakshasa had come down to the earth, or come up to the earth from the lower planets, from Patal Loka, because Ravana became very prominent, and they all joined him. It's just like the same as the Taliban. They just kicked out all the Americans. Now all the Talibanis and all the terrorists, they're coming to Afghanistan to get trained so they can destroy India and other countries and the United States. So same thing. But the good news is virtue always triumphs over vice. But you have to be genuinely virtuous. So now we're going to go outside and burn Ravana. Yes, because he was an evil guy. I don't want to scare you too much, but he violated many, many women. That's, it's not. He didn't only kidnap Sita, but of course he couldn't violate her because he had already violated so many other women that he was cursed. That if he ever did it again, his body would disintegrate into fire. So he had to convince Sita to surrender to him. But because she was genuinely chaste, a chaste woman develops tremendous mystical powers. And there's one example of Sita Devi. There are many other examples. There's Shilavati, there's Arundhati, there's so many examples of chaste women who develop very, very powerful mystical powers. So much so that whatever they say, that's what's going to happen. And Ravana, he said to Sita, listen, Sita, I will surrender to you. All my wives, including Mandodari, will be your servants. And Ravana had thousands of wives. He didn't just have Mandodari, he had many other wives. And he said, and I have the Pushpaka Vamana, the airplane. I'll take you all over the universe, anywhere you want to go. We'll go to the heavenly planets. We'll go above the heavenly planets. I'll be your servant. I'll give you anything you want. And she said, anyone who's seen a swan is not interested in a crow. So she completely devastated Ravana. He got really angry when she said that. And he said, look, I'm going to give you a couple of more days. If you don't surrender to me, I'm going to eat you. I'm going to kill you and eat you. Because he's a man-eating demon, a Rakshasa. That's what Rakshasas do. Now, in those days, there was just Ravana, Kumbhakarna. Of course, Vibhishan was a devotee. When Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishan did tremendous austerities, tapasyas, for many, many long years, Ravana, he wanted to defeat everybody, and he mentioned them, but he forgot to talk about human beings. And Vibhishan, he wanted to have the position of Indra, but instead of saying Indra's son, he made a mistake and said Nidra's son. And therefore, he was put to sleep right away. He could only wake up one day a year and do all the trouble he wanted to at that one day, and then that was it. So that was fortunate that because Lord Brahma scrambled his mind. This is what happens when people, smoke marijuana. Their mind gets mixed up, and instead of saying Indra's son, of course, he was intoxicated with his power, and he made that mistake. And fortunately, because the Devas prayed to Lord Brahma, they said, look, Brahma is bad enough. You just gave him a huge benediction. But if you do the same thing to Vibhishan, he's worse than Ravana. So please do something. So they scrambled his mind. Therefore, Krishna says, Sarva Shichaham Hridi Sanivisto Matak Smritir Jnanam Apuhanam Cha. He says, I am in the heart of every living entity, and from me come knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So therefore, he gave Krishna, through Saraswati, gave Vibhishan forgetfulness, and he said, Nidra Sen. So these are things that happen when someone is a genuine devotee of the Lord. The Lord, he says that he will protect his devotee. Konteha pratijanihi name bhakta pranasyati. And he says that he will supply what is lacking for the devotee and preserve what the devotee has. So that means he'll make Krishna consciousness very easy for a devotee, and he'll protect the devotee so he won't fall down. So we see that Vibhishan, he did not want these different powers that his brothers did. He wanted, when he was given a choice of whatever he wanted by Brahma, Vibhishan said, let me be the servant of Lord Ram. So here we have 3 Rakshasas. They're all Rakshasas. Their father, of course, was a Brahmana, but their mother was a lower birth. And 2 of them turned out to be really bad, and 1 of them turned out to be a genuine devotee. So, therefore, everything depends on our personal desires. So we see Ravana wanted a certain thing, Vibhishan, Kumbhakarna wanted a certain thing, and Vibhishan wanted a certain thing. So how do we develop our desires? We shouldn't get them mixed up. If we desire simply to serve Krishna or Rama with a pure heart and with no duplicity, no cunningness, but simply humble ourselves before the Lord is guaranteeing protection. Just like when Ravana kicked his brother and spoke very harshly to him, and Vibhishan realized that Ravana had gone crazy. All he did was say, look, just give Sita back to Rama, and Ram will forgive you. And Ravana got really angry and kicked him and started abusing him, so he realized his brother had gone crazy. So he left his brother and went to Lord Ramachandra. When he came, Sugriva and Lakshmana, they were very suspicious of Vibhishan, and they said, Rama, don't accept him. He's coming here as a spy. And Hanuman became very troubled when he heard that. But Lord Ramachandra said, anyone who bows down to me and asks for forgiveness, I will forgive him and I will give them protection. And Hanuman became very happy when he heard this. Because this is the real personality of Godhead. Personality of Godhead is always forgiving. If people simply renounce their bad habits and ask for forgiveness, you see. So the mercy of God is always there. No matter, even the worst person can become the best person. Adama can become Uttama if they humble themselves before God, before Rama or Krishna or Narayana, and ask for forgiveness and give up sinful activities. So sinful activities, there are 4 sinful activities: meat eating, gambling and speculation, and illicit sex, and intoxication. But wait a minute. This is what people think is happiness. I had an uncle once, and I told him this, these 4 sinful pillars, the 4 pillars of sin. And he said, I want to tell you a story. There was once a group of sages, and the question came up, what is a real donkey? And after a long discussion, they decided that a donkey is someone who doesn't take intoxication, who doesn't gamble, who doesn't philander, and who doesn't eat meat. These were the sages, right? They were not sages, they were a bunch of phonies. So we see that what most people think are pleasure are actually extremely sinful. And therefore, one must give up these 4 pillars of sin in order to get the mercy of the Lord. It's very simple. Now, would any of you advise your children to eat meat, to gamble, to philander, and to intoxicate? Raise your hand. You see? No sane person would indoctrinate their children to do this. But when I was growing up, I was forced by my father to drink a tumbler of whiskey every Sunday when they were eating chicken. See? And my father would force me to drink. I used to hate it. But he said, you have to grow up to be a man. Therefore, you have to learn to drink liquor. Right? Said, this is craziness. And of course, my father died of cancer because he had bad habits. So if you want your children to grow up to be good people, then I'm gonna ask my friend here, Madhavachandra, to tell us a story. The story is about your wine cellar. Tell everybody about your wine cellar and why you gave it up. This is a very important story. That's true, factual.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So,
It's a tough subject.
no, it's a good sometime to reflect and then review the mirror, how much we had come forward. So sometimes it will keep us humble. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, so when I came to America, I came in 1997. So after coming here in few years, I adapted to the American lifestyle. Work hard, play hard, drink hard. So, and then because of my association with my colleagues, I had developed this habit of drinking with taste. So they used to teach me and different things on, single malt scotch.
Who taught you?
My colleagues. So
Were they Indian or American?
both. So then I had developed this habit. I used to have a big, collection of wine and collection of single malts. So then, and when I got married, my wife got a shock, but somehow he understood that I cannot be reformed. She had given up on me. And all these things happened. And
Were you proud of your wine cellar?
yes, Prabhuji.
Would you show it to people?
Yes,
you
and
show
people
it?
come to my home. So that's what it is. Like I try to invite them. I will just show all the different single malts and then I'll tell them how to taste it, how to smell it. So I used to think that I was like very sophisticated. So
You're real American.
yeah. So then, somehow by Krishna's mercy, my wife was pregnant, and then Pandavaji Prabhu invited us to the temple. So he,
His temple.
Nampriya and Pandavaji Prabhu used to work in the same group in Microsoft. So his wife was also pregnant. And my wife was also pregnant. He said, like, why don't you come to temple? I will introduce my wife. You guys can become friends. We are also new to Seattle. We don't have many friends here. Like that, he invited us. And then first week he called. He couldn't go because some other party in somebody's house. Next week again he called. We had party in our home. People were coming to our home. We couldn't come.
Were they drinking wine?
Yeah.
Were they Indians?
Yes, Prabhuji. So, and third time again he called. Then we felt like a little embarrassed that he's asking us to come to temple, but somehow we are not going. So we should make it a point to go. So we came here. So here there is a small house in this place, our old temple. And then I was like, I lived here in Klahani for several years. I never came here. I never knew that there is a temple here. And I came here, and then I was hoping that there will be temple, but there was a house. And then for me it was a little surprise, but still I came. Then I came in and you are giving class. And so out of respect I also sat down. And I didn't understand anything what you were speaking because everything was going over my head. So, but after that there was
arati. Wine in your head, that's why.
Yeah. After that there was an arati, and everybody started jumping up and down. I was like shocked. Why these people are jumping up and down? So then after that they closed the curtain. We all sat down, and then they said, "Please sit down. We are going to serve prashadam." I was thinking, why they're asking us to sit down for prashad? Prashad means they should give little in the hand.
A little bit of mystery.
Yeah. And then anyway, I sat down and I had prashad. So I remember still the plate. Pulao, dal, sabji, puri, some salad, and halwa, the whole menu. And then I had eaten in some best places on the planet, but I never tasted something like that. So, and thanks to Rasavati Mataji and all the devotees. And then I got addicted to prasad. Every Sunday I started coming for prasad. I used to come and sit in your class, but I didn't understand much. But I was just eating prasad, and I started feeling guilty that I'm eating and going. So I should do something. Then every week I started
serving. Did ask you for a donation?
No. And then I started serving prasad. After finishing everything, then I will sit, eat without guilt, nicely eat and go home. So that's how it happened. Then I started reading Gita. Then devotees invited me to, every Thursday we used to have a program in Microsoft, the group discussion on Bhagavad Gita. Then I started attending that, and every Friday Bhakti Vriksha, and then every Sunday I used to come for your program. So then by the time devotees slowly helped me to get cleansed, and I started learning.
What happened to the wine cellar?
So this all going on, and then I stopped drinking. I stopped, everything, all activities, but it was there still in my house. So one day, then I realized, before my daughter was born, this should not be at my home. I took everything and threw it.
Haram.
Hare Krishna. So by Krishna's mercy and devotees' mercy, I had such a nice experience of coming into Krishna consciousness by developing taste for prasadam, by developing Krishna Katha, taste for Krishna Katha.
This is the fatal thing. If you come here and associate with devotees, it could take away eating, gambling, illicit activities, and intoxication. So be careful.
Yes.
If you want to continue doing that, don't come here, because we'll convince you to give it up. Give up your wine cellar. How much were all those wine bottles worth?
I don't know. It may be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
That's all. Okay.
Maybe more. I don't remember, because it's over the period of time I accumulated. So I don't know.
What did you replace your wine cellar with?
I replaced that. I put Srimad Bhagavatam. So
eventually you had an altar there.
Yes, altar.
Yeah, you replaced your wine.
And Gauranathai came to our home.
The wine bottles were your deities. Now you put the real deity.
Yes, and I'm very grateful, and because one more thing, when I started coming here, one of the first book I read is Prabhupada's You Are a Well-Wisher, the summary of Leelamrita. So that inspired me. Then I understood that this person is genuine. He is trying to teach me something. So then I started observing you. So I used to observe you very closely. Whatever you speak, and then whatever you think, and whatever you do, I was trying to observe you whether any contradiction is there.
Did you ever catch me smoking a cigarette?
No. So
Did you catch
so
me
that
going to a bar?
when I saw that you were thinking, your speech and your activity were aligning in same, then I understood that is the symptom of a Mahatma. Then I felt confident that in my life I can also follow.
Haribol.
So, because I was a hopeless case. So by looking at devotees, then I felt confident that I can also be reformed. I can also come to a human form of life. And that's how, I'm very grateful to devotees, because I got such a nice experience in Krishna consciousness. To say, I got such a soft landing in Krishna consciousness. And all the bad habits went away, bad things went away. And in my life, nothing but auspiciousness. Everything is auspiciousness. Shubhada. And by devotees' mercy, they kindly engaged me in services. Then you took me under your shelter. I'm very grateful, Proj.
Haribol. Okay, so now you know, if you come here, it's dangerous. You could give up all those American good habits for Indian really good habits, right? For Vedic really good habits. So if you want to be successful in life, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. So I used to be, partaker with Ramachandra in this, and I used to at least come to temple. I will tell him, let us go to temple.
Did you see the wine cellar?
Yes. So I want to say this because it's important for people to know. So Madhav Chandra Prabhu and me, we used to meet. He was he's a Microsoft researcher, okay. He has so many patents, very intelligent person. Everything he has done with, full conviction, okay. So I used to tell him, hey, I'm going to temple, let us go. He will say, no, you go to temple and then you come to this restaurant, we will meet there. Somehow Pandava Vijayotsava Prabhuji convinced him, okay. But this is not the point. The point I'm trying to say is, he embraced Lord's feet, and he has advanced so much. I am still far away, I want to say that it is very, in front of my eyes, I saw this person come, and he has gone so far. So God takes you so, if you have the intention and the intensity, God takes you so close to him. And I see that in Madhav Chandra Prabhu.
So,
it's so
he
nice.
doesn't work anymore, right?
he does
Krishna
Lord's
has
work.
given him a way to live without working with the demons
Yeah.
in the corporate culture, which is corporate non-culture,
Hare Krishna.
Everybody has done this is how
right?
it's amazing that
You see how Krishna arranges things?
These days people may not believe, but I've seen with my eyes
Yeah.
the transformation that has happened to Prabhu to Madhav Chandra Das. It's just amazing.
Haribol.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, Kaushik Prabhu. Thank you for authenticating the story. So it is not a setup. We didn't pay him to come here.
Did I tell you to come here tonight?
No, you didn't even know that I'm coming here. I didn't know that he is coming here, and so we used to be partner in crimes, but our Kaushik Prabhu is one of the fixed servant of the Lord here. Once a week, he always come here and cleans the temple, and regular service. He have been doing this for like more than a decade.
Yeah.
So thank you, Prabhuji, for all the services you are doing. Thank you. Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
so now we're going to go and burn
Hare Krishna.
meat eating, gambling,
Hare
illicit
Krishna. Hare
activities, and intoxication, and personified in Ravana.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Krishna Bhagavan ki jai,
Jai.
Shri Radha Nila Madhava ki jai.
लाइव स्ट्रीम नहीं कर रहा बाकी लोग कैसे देखेंगे वो तो अरे रिकॉर्ड करके करूँगा